Hello and welcome back everybody. In today's video we are going to be recapping on my September goals and talking about October goals. So grab a cup of coffee, tea, water, something like that, because I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but you know, you might sit around and let's have a chat with each other basically. So I'm going to take some coffee because I want to have some coffee. September goals. Recap. It's not an epic fail, but it wasn't good. So let's go ahead and recap what happened. So goal number one was to empty out the sink every single night. The majority of the month, that didn't happen. True honesty, it didn't happen. I am trying to figure out how best to keep track of this along with some of the other goals that did not happen this month. And I'll get it figured out for October. I still have a couple more days of the month, but let's just say I already know that some of these were not failures. They're just trying to figure things out in a way. So there's time to make it better for October. Second goal was to eat better. So I talked about reading the cholesterol books, the two of them. One was a cookbook, one was a doctor talking about trying to do everything naturally. And I finished the book by the doctor, and I did finish reading the first couple chapters of the cookbook, all the chapters before all the recipes basically. So I did not read all the recipes. And because I finished those about halfway through the month, it was best for me to start eating better. Again, not a SMART goal as they say, but I did not finish reading those books until halfway through the month, so I'm just gonna push that part of it into October. We'll get to that later. But for September, what I did achieve, which was pretty good, I decided, because I'm pushing all of that into October, trying to stick to a meal plan and all of that type of stuff, since I pushed that to October, my goal for September was to eat from my pantry, freezer, and refrigerator, and try to save some money by not going to the grocery store, and to eat the unhealthier meals that I have in the house. I didn't get through all of them because I have a huge pack of ramen. That totally is not healthy. I was able to make it from like the 9th all the way until this past Saturday, which was the 23rd, on meals that I had prepped and all of that. So I now need to go to the grocery store and get some items for the last week of September. And then starting in October, we'll be eating healthier. We'll get to that in the October goals. Waking up at 4 a.m., the third goal. On the days that I have to go into the office, yes, that did happen. On the days that I don't go into the office, I woke up enough to turn the alarm off, and then I went right back to sleep. We're going to figure out a solution for October. Fourth goal was to read 2 books. So technically, I guess you consider one of the books a half book, but I read 3 books. So I did do very well on this goal. So the first book that I finished reading was, of course, the cholesterol heart solution for women. And then I read the few chapters of the low cholesterol cookbook. Again, that's the half book because it wasn't the full book because I didn't read all the recipes. The third book I did finish was the first book of the Outlander series. So Outlander is the title of it. And that was one that I listened to while I was cleaning. It is a very long book, and I actually listened to it I'm able to listen to audiobooks at 2 times speed. And even at that, it was 20 or 30 hours at 2 times speed. So it's a very long book. And I have started listening to the second book of the series. So hopefully I can finish that in October, and that will be something for my October goals as well. Fifth goal for September was to exercise 2 times a week for at least 10 minutes per day. Yeah, didn't happen. So people could argue, well, when you walk to the office, that's at least a 5-minute walk there and a 5-minute back from your car, and that's a couple times a week, and yard work, and it's not what I had intended. So there was one day, besides doing yard work, and I did get up on the roof and clean the roof off and did, you know, that was work. That was exercise. What I do consider that exercise. So on the days that I'm mowing the yard or doing yard work, it is exercise in my book because I am getting out and in the heat, and I'm getting steps, walking back and forth on doing the yard work. As far as actual exercise, what my plan was to get on the exercise bike, that did not happen at all. So we'll talk about this when we get into October goals on what my plan is for that. But there was one day in this past, I think it was last week actually, where I was at the office and I needed to go to CVS, so I was going to walk the half mile there and walk the half mile back. I've been not wanting to walk all that much because I am still healing from an Achilles, so that was like, okay, I'm going to set out. I'm just going to walk at a normal pace, not try to rush there like I have in the past. Unfortunately, the CVS turned out to be closed when I got there, and I had to walk back. Like, the actual store is closing, so it was closed. And thankfully, I didn't hurt my ankle. I was wearing tennis shoes that day, so I didn't further, you know, cause injury. So because of that, it's kind of going into the exercise for next month as well. So those are the recaps of my September goals. Some were successes, some were, I don't want to say they're failures because they're not failures. They're habits, they're lifestyle changes, and I just need to figure out how to track them better to hold myself accountable for them, basically. So going into October goals, I am looking at my planner down here, and the first thing, of course, is to continue on with trying to empty out the sink every single night. In October, that is another one where I'm going to have to like figure out how to track that because I am not forcing myself to do that. So I need to figure out in the next couple days, because it is still September, but because I know that I have not been successful at some of the goals and I have been successful at the other ones, then I was like, let me go ahead and film this and get it ready so that way you guys can set up and, you know, all of that type of stuff. So for cleaning out the sink, I definitely need to figure out how to hold myself accountable for that. And then also waking up at 4 a.m. every single day. For me, when I did wake up at 4 a.m. every day, I felt like I could get so much more stuff done during the day. And yes, I was going to bed at like 8, 9 o'clock at night because it's tiring, but I felt like I was more productive throughout the day. And if I sleep until 6 or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, it's been a while since I've slept to 8 o'clock because the cats won't let me. But if I wait until a certain period, you know, wait or don't get up until 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, I just feel like half the day is gone. And that is so strange because when I was younger, like middle school, teenager, even into college, I wanted to sleep until noon, 1 o'clock, you know, wanted to sleep to the afternoon. And I hear my parents saying, you're sleeping the day away, the half the day is gone. And I'm thinking, I'm like, if I sleep until 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, half the day is gone. How things change in 20 to 30 years. That is another goal, and I think for me to wake up at 4 a.m., I am going to have to move my phone across the room to where it's forcing me to get up out of bed and and turn off the alarm. So we're going to work on that. We are going to work on that for October. Now, the third goal is a financial goal, and it is, I had a little change of plans in September with my budget for my 2024 vacation. I put a down payment for the vacation, but I need to save up for the other part of it. And the other part is at least $1,200, but I have to tack on a plane ticket and food, souvenirs, that type of stuff onto that. So I haven't looked at prices for flights to where we're going. Definitely need to save up between, definitely the $1,200, but almost between $1,500 $1,500 to $2,000 extra. I don't think the plane is going to be that much, but you never know. And food, you never know when you're going to a new location how much food is going to be. So definitely things that I need to save up for. So because of that, I'm not going to be able to pay as much to debt during this time while I'm trying to save up for all of that. So my goal is to at least put $200 every single month to vacation, and specifically for October, $200, and then $300 plus, if I can afford it, into the debt, extra to debt payments to try to get my debt down a little bit more. I definitely will have to reassess. This is the first month that I'm going to be doing this kind of split plan, so I need to figure out how it's kind of in my budget. I need to figure it out. So since I haven't received any of my bills for October yet, so I really can't actually sit down and crunch the numbers to figure out my October budget and how much I can actually, but knowing from the past, I've been able to at least pay $500 towards debt. So I'm going to take that $500 and split it, not in half, but split it. So that way I still have more going to debt, but I have some also going into savings as well. Now, health, this is going into the meal plan and the exercise type stuff. So October, I am going to be sticking to this 4-week meal plan that is set up in that low cholesterol cookbook that I talked about in last month's goals. And that meal plan, I really like the meal plan because it was specifically tailored for one individual. And half the time when you get some of these books, it's tailored to, you're cooking for a family of 4 or 5 people, and they don't leave room for leftovers in the meal plan. So for me, being a single individual, I have all those leftovers and I'm having to go to the grocery store and all of this. So in this meal plan, it is specifically tailored for one individual, so it leaves room for leftovers. So when there's a recipe for that is 4 servings worth, she puts it in there when you can actually eat that leftover, and I think that is fantastic. And that's why I'm going to stick to this meal plan, 4-week meal plan on there. And in there, it was saying to exercise for 30 minutes a day, go for a walk or something like that. And with my Achilles, I'm not going to do the 30 minutes right off the bat. So that's where I'm like, okay, get on the bike, do something like that. But I'm going to try to do 15 to 20 minute walks every single day. And if I'm going to do the bike, I'm actually going to pull it out from behind the door and put it in the middle of the room. And that way, every time I walk to the office, it's like, oh, I have 5 minutes. Let me get on the bike and do it real quick. So that way I just have everything prepped and ready to go, and I'm not having to move the bike out to it's here in the middle of the room and I can exercise. And since my mom won't be back until sometime in October, I don't even know if she's going to stay the night, so that's perfect. So that is my plan for the diet and exercise, the eat better. I'm going to stick to the meal plan. I'm hoping that my grocery budget isn't going to be outrageous. I am going to sit down and like start putting it into one of the grocery store apps, and figure out how much it's going to cost for all this stuff. And then the last goal is my mental, which is read and listen to 3 books. I was able to do it last month. I'm going to try to do it again this month. So I am already listening to the 2nd book of the Outlander series. I don't know how far I am, but again, I'm listening to that at 2 times speed. Again, a long book. All the books are long, but they are absolutely fantastic to listen to. And usually I am listening to them when I'm cleaning. However, I did not listen to them yesterday when I was cleaning because I listened to it when I was deep cleaning my kitchen, but the freezer, refrigerator, and pantry part of my kitchen but I needed to listen to music to clean the rest of the house and while I was out doing yard work as well. So I do listen to them while I am not exercising, but when I'm cleaning house and everything. So that does help take up some of the time. And then when I go for my walks, I will put them in because that keeps me going at a slower pace than trying to walk to music like I do. When I walk to music, I usually have fast-paced music on and I'm walking fast. And I can't do that with my Achilles still. So, so that is everything for my October goals and the recap of my September goals. I hope that you enjoyed this and a little sit-down chat with me and everything. I will be back on Friday with my week 4 budget check-in for September, and then on Sunday I will be doing my cleaning video where I am deep cleaning the kitchen, and I'm very behind on deep cleaning the kitchen. So the way I have my zone schedule kind of split out for deep cleaning the kitchen is that each quarter I focus on one cabinet to clean out, and I've neglected that the entire year. So it's the 4th quarter. I need to do that all. I have already filmed me cleaning out the freezer refrigerator, and I'm mainly getting it prepped for me to eat better in October. Pantry also, I cleaned out and reorganized in there and consolidated things. It looks so much better now. Honestly, it looks so much better. It was a lot of stuff everywhere, and it was kind of like giving me anxiety every single time I walked into the pantry. So it's so much better now. And then I reset the house yesterday, and I also went out and mowed the yard because it needs to be mowed. I still need to do some yard work, but it's supposed to rain today, and all of that type of stuff. So I will be focusing on cleaning the cabinets tomorrow. I'm going to take my time on that because when I clean them out, I don't just clean them out. I also go through and figure out if I need to get rid of anything in the cabinets as well. So I hope that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do post those videos. And the following Wednesday from now, it will be the first Wednesday of the month. So that is when I post my October budget setup and everything. And I am changing how I'm doing my budgeting, at least on the paper form, because I don't have any more months in my calendar, my planner, for the rest of the year. So I'm having to figure out a new strategy. It's going to be the same format basically, but it's going paperless basically. So I hope that you guys will subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that way you are notified when I do post those videos. Thank you everybody, and have a wonderful week. Please let me know if you have any specific goals that you are trying to get set up and accomplished for October. Thank you everybody, and have a wonderful week. Bye everybody.